Today I'm filming what I think is the most unique house in all of Calgary, and I just thought let's bring you guys along to give kind of an inside behind the scenes look into how I shoot ultra luxury properties like this and kind of what my thought process is as I'm filming. So without further ado, let's go explore the property. Now, the first thing I do when it comes to filming, and really any property, is gonna be shooting my wide shots. Now, I'm filming my wide shots on the Laowa 12mm. I love the look of the 12mm. Now, then I'm gonna find what space I wanna start in, and I really like this kitchen behind me. I think this is a really cool space to start. So when I'm starting with my wide shots, I kind of have three main shots that I go to. First is gonna be the wide straight push. That's kind of like the staple shot. So to do a wide straight push, I think I'm gonna find kind of a nice spot back here, and I'm gonna kind of push forwards into the kitchen. Nice, straight and smooth. Get as much distance as possible. That's gonna be one shot. Then another is gonna be a wide curve. So I'm actually gonna come all the way over here, facing into the kitchen. I'm gonna kind of curve around this kind of couch and again into the center of the island, get that going. All the way through. And then finally, it's gonna be kind of a more creative shot. So there's a lot of room for kind of, I love being creative. I wanna make sure that all my videos, I've got some unique kind of shots. And so I'm gonna do a shot where I'm gonna kind of do a big orbit around the island. That's gonna be a shot that I can then link into other orbits in other spaces. So I'm gonna try and keep the center, or at least the stove, in the center of my frame. I'm gonna orbit all the way around and through. And so those are kind of the three main shot principles that I use. And then I can go and apply that into pretty much every other space that I go to. A wide straight, a wide push, and then a creative. So now we're gonna make our way to the other side of the house. And there's actually something that's really, really cool. This is probably my favorite area. Hidden door opens into, I mean, look at this. This is like a Harry Potter themed library study. I mean, this looks like, what is it, that Gryffindor house in the Harry Potter movies. It's so cool. We're gonna try and find some really cool and unique shots to get in here. Okay, so for a space like this library is 2 levels, and so I want to be able to show just how tall and expansive it really is. That's where we're going to incorporate some like tilting shots. So I'm gonna, like, as far back as I can, I'm going to move straight and do a tilt up to show how big and tall and how open this library really gets. And so I'll use the joystick for my tilt. I'm going to start pushing that up, moving forward, and go all the way underneath. And we really get to see, it's a unique perspective, but you get to see really what this space has to offer. And that's what we're always trying to find. It's like, what shots can I find that's gonna show this space off the absolute best? Okay, now I'm gonna say this a lot, but this is another just crazy room. This is like, what do you call it? It's like a bar lounge area, super cool vibes. And I want to get a really cool shot to just kind of show that this space, this is an entertainer's dream. So I'm thinking maybe like a long curve shot. I might start over in this corner here. Make my way over. What's nice about the 12mm lens is that it's super wide. We're gonna see really everything that this room has to offer, including like this LED thing here that you probably can't see there, but you'll see up here on my screen. Now for settings, I'm shooting, it's hard because it's a high contrast room. We've got dark room, bright windows. And so my ISO is set to 3200, and I'm gonna change my T-stop to maybe about 5.6. We'll be able to get a little bit of a window pull but still keeping the interiors relatively well exposed. So now I've got my settings right. My manual focus is set between 3 and infinity, so we're not gonna have to worry about an out of focus shot. I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna curve all the way to the other end of the room. All the way through. So that's just like, again, you'll see in every single space that I'm in, every single wide shot, I'm getting as much distance as possible. This is what really sells those like really nice speed ramps, is we want to shoot them properly, get as much distance. So now we're back where we started. The grand foyer, this massive staircase. We're still in our wides, but what I'm always thinking about when I'm shooting any property, I'm always thinking while I'm shooting, how can I edit this together? Right? Shooting with the edit in mind. And so if we think about when we were back in the kitchen, we shot a really cool orbit shot around the island. I'm gonna link that up with an orbit shot around this staircase, because in the edit, we're gonna speed ramp that together. It's gonna be the same fluid motion, and it's just those kind of little touches that make your videos feel so much more seamless and cohesive. So I'm gonna get my shot here, be up a little bit because I'm down a few steps, and I'm just gonna orbit and curve around this staircase. And here we go. Up. And I might just go back this way just to get both angles. There. That was a sick shot. But now I have a couple of those orbits. I can link those together, and that's all I'm gonna show for the wides. Let's move back onto the details. Once I finish with the wide shots, we're gonna switch to our detail shots. Now, I switched from a 12mm. This is my 24 to 105. And I'm typically using it between 50 to 85mm. And that's the perfect sweet spot for detail shots. And then obviously got to rebalance on the gimbal, but that's kind of the way I like to do it. Wides and then details, nice and cohesive. And we'll show you a few examples of how I shoot my details right away here. So when it comes to shooting details, there's a few things that I like to look for. Number one, this is the most important thing for all your detail shots, is gonna be foreground. Finding something that you can put in the foreground of your shot is gonna make it look so much more dynamic and cinematic. Second is gonna be composition. And I have two types of detail shots I like to do. First one is like the wider detail. And so I'm gonna show you what that looks like here. So we're gonna be shooting into like this plush breakfast nook area. And you can see here on my shot is you can actually kind of see the entire room. We're at about 50mm for this. We can see the entire room. We've also got foreground right here with this bench, and I'm just gonna curve around, passing through this foreground in kind of a curved shot to reveal that space. I'll do it again just to make sure. There we go. So that's like what I call a wide detail, because you still get to see kind of the entire space. Now the second is going to be like the tight detail. This is, we're focusing on one specific thing. We've got this really cool lighting fixture. So I'm going to change from 50mm to 85mm on my lens. That's what I love about this lens. It's so versatile. And again, I need to find some foreground. So I'm going to use this lighting feature here. I'm focused on the chandelier, and then same thing, I'm gonna curve around. Nice movement. I'm actually gonna try something a little different here. I'm gonna try tilting down as I curve so we get this more dynamic shot. That looks really sick. And so those are kind of the principles that I take into shooting details, and those are what I like to take through every space, a wide detail and a tight detail. So I touched briefly on this back downstairs, but another way to add just so much more dynamics to your details is to add more movement. And in this case, I really like adding tilting movements. So here, I'm gonna tilt my camera down. I don't really have too much foreground. Getting around this wall is gonna be pretty tricky. So as I'm curving forward, I'm actually gonna push with my joystick up, and we're gonna tilt up, and we're gonna have this nice kind of detailed reveal of this kind of primary suite here. So got my settings, I'm gonna push forward and start tilting. That looks okay. These shots definitely take more finesse of like getting the right tilting speed. So I'm gonna do that again, tilt just a little bit slower and curve more. There we go, that was nice. So yeah, adding those kind of curving, tilting movements are just ways to make your detail shots just so much more engaging and dynamic. Care for refreshment? Because right here we have this unbelievable wine cellar, wine and champagne room. You've got the backlit LED strip walls, as well as this custom vending machine that actually works. You can put real tokens in there and get your very own hand-picked glass of champagne. And so in a room like this, we want to highlight those kind of details. So I'm going to get a detail shot here of this vending machine. And I've showed you some shots where we're just kind of panning around, panning and tilting. And another one I love to do is kind of like a level change as we orbit around. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to get my kind of initial composition here. Vending machine is our subject. And as I'm orbiting around, I'm going to be bringing my camera down to kind of show the kind of verticals of the vending machine, but also we'll get that foreground here on the island. So here we go. I'm going to start, and as I curve, I'm going to bring down, getting more distance. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to try to get more distance. This is like my power pose right here. Move down, and as much distance as possible. So those are kind of all the detail shots I like to get. Now I'm pretty tired. I think I might relax with a glass of champagne. So there you have it. That's an inside look as to how I film ultra luxury homes. If you found this video valuable, you're gonna really enjoy this one. With that all said, I'll see you in the next video. Foot's cramping.
Get that one finished.
Oh,
Foot's cramping.
foot is cramping. Holy.
Foot's down, boys. Foot's the pains.
Okay.
How are we doing?
I think we're gonna make it.